Imagine waking up tomorrow morning, checking your phone, looking outside your window, and seeing a giant black circle floating silently above your city. No light, no sound, no explanation. At first, people would think it's some kind of weather event, a military experiment, or maybe even a fake viral prank. But then strange things would start happening. Cars would slowly begin rolling across roads on their own. Streetlights would bend. Birds flying in the sky would suddenly disappear. And within minutes, everyone would realize one terrifying truth. A black hole has appeared above the city. But what would actually happen next? Would Earth be destroyed instantly? Would time slow down? Could anyone survive? Today, let's find out what would really happen if a black hole appeared in your city. First, you need to understand one thing. A black hole is not just a giant cosmic vacuum cleaner that sucks everything in instantly like in movies. It's actually much stranger and much more terrifying. A black hole is a place in space where gravity becomes so strong that nothing can escape it, not even light. That's why it looks completely black. But if one suddenly appeared above your city, the damage would depend on one important thing: its size. And trust me, even a small black hole could turn your city into a nightmare. Let's imagine the black hole appears about 2 kilometers above the city. At first, it wouldn't look like a giant monster. It might just look like a dark floating sphere in the sky surrounded by weird distortions, because a black hole doesn't just sit there looking scary. It bends light itself. Buildings behind it would look twisted. Clouds around it would look warped. The sky itself would seem broken. People everywhere would start filming instantly. Social media would explode. Everyone would be posting things like, "What is that in the sky? Is this real? Is this an alien portal?" But within seconds, scientists would realize this is no joke, because gravity around the black hole would start affecting everything nearby. And that's when the real horror would begin. At first, you might not even feel anything. Then suddenly your body might feel slightly heavier. Loose objects would begin moving on their own. Signs would rip off buildings. Bikes would roll in strange directions. Windows would crack. Water inside tanks, pipes, and even puddles on the street would begin shifting unnaturally. Why? Because gravity would no longer be acting normally. A black hole doesn't need to touch you to destroy you. Its gravity can start pulling on everything from a distance. And if the black hole is massive enough, the center of the city would become pure chaos in just a few minutes. Cars would begin sliding toward the pole, electric poles would tilt, buildings would experience pressure from angles they were never designed to handle, bridges could begin collapsing, and the closer you are to it, the less chance you have of escaping. Now imagine the black hole stays stable for several more minutes. That would be enough time for the entire city to enter full disaster mode. Emergency sirens would begin blaring everywhere, phones would lose signal, power grids would fail, airplanes flying nearby would be in extreme danger, helicopters wouldn't stand a chance. Even the air itself would become unstable because the black hole's gravity would begin disrupting movement, pressure, and direction. And then the center of the city would start collapsing inward. Roads would crack open, train tracks would twist like metal wires. Tall buildings would begin leaning toward the pole. Some structures wouldn't just fall, they would actually be stretched apart. And that's because black holes don't only pull, they create something even worse called tidal forces. Tidal forces happen when gravity pulls harder on one side of an object than the other, and that difference in force can literally tear things apart. Buildings could be ripped apart piece by piece. Bridges could snap. Entire blocks of the city could be crushed and twisted beyond recognition. But the most horrifying part is what would happen to a human body if it got too close. There's a real scientific term for it, and it sounds almost ridiculous until you understand what it means. It's called spaghettification. And yes, it is exactly as terrifying as it sounds. If you got too close to a black hole, the side of your body closer to it would feel a much stronger gravitational pull than the side farther away. That means your body would begin stretching longer and thinner, almost like being pulled into a noodle. not instantly vaporized, not exploded, stretched, slowly and violently, atom by atom. This is one of the most disturbing real concepts in astrophysics. So if a black hole appeared in your city, anyone close enough to it wouldn't just be crushed, they would be physically stretched apart by gravity itself. And if that wasn't terrifying enough, black holes can do something even stranger. They can bend time. Yes, actual time. According to Einstein's theory of relativity, stronger gravity can slow time down. So if you're watching someone fall toward a black hole, something very weird would happen. To you, that person would appear to move slower and slower, almost like time is freezing around them. But to the person falling, time might still feel normal. Imagine how terrifying that would be. People near the black hole could be experiencing reality completely differently from the people farther away. To some, it might feel like only a few seconds are passing. To others watching from a distance, it could look like the city itself is moving in slow motion toward destruction. That is not science fiction. That is real physics. Now here comes the biggest question. Would the black hole destroy only your city, or would it destroy the entire Earth? The answer depends on its mass, but honestly, if a black hole appears and stays stable near Earth, then the whole planet's in serious danger. Even if it first appears over just one city, its gravity could begin affecting the Earth's structure, atmosphere, and even its orbit. Ocean tides could become violent and unpredictable. Massive earthquakes could be triggered. Volcano systems might become unstable. Satellites in orbit could be pulled off course. And if the black hole actually moved through Earth, it could pass through the planet like a bullet made of gravity, destroying everything in its path. So no, this would not remain just one city's problem for very long. It could quickly become a global extinction-level disaster. So could humans survive? Maybe, but only under extremely specific conditions. If the black hole were unbelievably tiny and passed through quickly without staying in one place, then maybe some parts of Earth could survive. But if it remained above your city for even a short amount of time, the area beneath it would become almost impossible to escape. Once tidal forces begin tearing apart structures and gravity starts pulling everything inward, human survival would drop to nearly zero. No bunker would save you. No building could protect you. No army could stop it. Because how do you fight something that doesn't attack with weapons, but with the laws of the universe itself? So what if a black hole appeared in your city? At first it would look unreal. Then it would look beautiful. Then it would become confusing. And finally, it would become the last thing your city ever sees. No monster, no alien invasion, no warning sirens from outer space, just gravity. So powerful that it bends light, slows time, crushes buildings, tears apart Earth, and maybe even breaks reality itself. And the craziest part is that black holes already exist all across the universe right now. Thankfully, they are very, very far away. But if one ever appeared above your city, you wouldn't be watching the end of the world in a movie, you would be living it.